Welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna Coles, and today we're visiting with Dr. Katie VanValin. She's with the University of Kentucky, a beef extension specialist there.
Yeah, so minerals are involved in every process that happens in the body, and but they're also required in really, really tiny amounts in the diet. So I think that's why it's really easy to sometimes overlook them, yet it has profound effects when they're not there. They're kind of complex and they also interact with one another, and so that's why it becomes challenging to pick out a quote unquote good mineral for your cattle. There's a lot of information on those tags, and maybe take that tag home and look over it and know what you're trying to buy and what you're actually getting.
And so, for a producer going to a feed store, what are the things that they really need to look for?
First of all, you kind of have to have an idea of what kind of mineral is it that I'm needing, and are we looking at feeding a cow calf operation? Do we want something for maybe growing cattle on pasture, and maybe we want to add in another feed additive like an ionophore, for example, or medicated mineral, which of course you have to work with your veterinarian to get access to. But kind of understand what you're looking for. If we've got lactating cows in early spring when we get that rush of grass growth, are we worried about getting a high mag mineral or a high magnesium mineral to prevent grass tetany? And then, every company that sells minerals, they kind of have a tiered system. So they're usually going to kind of have a lower level, a mid level, and a high level of mineral, and that comes with both price and quality. For our folks in Kentucky, we have the UK IRM mineral recommendation that we put out, and that's a spec sheet that can actually be mixed as a mineral. And I tell folks that it's not perfect, but it's a good starting point. In particular, though, there's two minerals that I really care a lot about from a trace mineral standpoint, and that is selenium and copper. We see a lot of deficiencies of those here in the state. And selenium is a mineral that is actually controlled by the FDA. So we can't just feed more selenium. And you'll always see kind of a cautionary note on your feed tags about how much selenium is in there. So you aren't going to see a whole lot of difference in selenium content, but there is a form of the selenium that is better than others. Sort through there and look for the words selenium yeast. You'll typically also see that with sodium selenite. That's a different source of selenium. So you'll see them both in there, and that's what we're looking for. Ideally a 50-50 blend of those. So you won't be able to tell that on the tag, but that's certainly a question you can ask of your feed dealer. So for copper, you'll typically see something like copper sulfate in there. That's kind of our baseline standard source of copper, but you want to see something like copper amino acid complex, copper lysine, copper bisglycinate. There's a bunch of different forms, and we've got some really good publications available online that kind of lists what all those forms are. But that's another one that I pay a little bit closer attention to, and you will see a wider variety in copper concentrations. So making sure that we are meeting or exceeding that recommendation for copper, and that's going to be about 1,600 parts per million in like a typical 3-ounce intake free choice mineral. We want them to have access every day because their desire for salt really kind of mandates how much or how little mineral they consume, because that mineral is going to contain salt in there already. So we don't need an extra white salt block sitting out there with it. Really kind of understanding, is it a 3 or a 4-ounce per head per day mineral? And that usually is listed on the tag. And then doing the math, how many head are out there? Understand that the calves do visit the mineral feeder, as early as a month or so. A lot of times that mineral may only last you 4 or 5 days. What happens is if we let them run out, their desire for salt kind of kicks in. And then when we do refill it, they kind of gorge themselves. And then people think they're eating too much. And then we kind of hold back. And so if we just keep it out there consistently, they tend to have a little bit more consistent intakes.
And so, if people were wanting more information about mineral, because there are so many options, there's fly control, there's, some weather control, the high mag that you talked about, and some of that is just going to be purchasing it and seeing how it does perform on your farm.
And I encourage folks to shop around, look at pricing. I've seen examples where folks end up paying a lot more for a mineral that's actually not as good a quality as another option that they had available to them.
We appreciate you watching the Farm and Home Show and hope you have a great day.